and welcome back to another episode of My Garage Rules. Hey, how you going, guys? We got Colin and Adam here. How are you guys? And your mates as well. How you going, boys? All right. Hey, look, thanks for joining us tonight on the show. I tell you what, you're in for a treat tonight, boys. We're actually going to go out and see the Hot Rod and Classic Ramble, which was at Salisbury. That was an awesome show. We've also got some guys coming in from the Muscle Car Run, which they organised to raise money for leukemia, the awareness of leukemia. Great little setup that is. And we're also going to interview the youngest touring car driver in Australia. He's only 18 years old. My God, we're going to interview him as well, so he'd be where I'd like to be. But fantastic. So stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. I'm here with Ashley. How you going, Ashley?
I'm good, thanks. How you going there?
Mate, this car you've got here, well, really a hot rod, mate. This is a traditional hot rod right here. And tell us a little bit about it. What about the motor here? What do we got here?
It's an 8BA flathead with early heads, making it look like more of a 40 style. Yeah, Navarro heads, Edelbrock slingshot intake, early flathead intake as well. And yeah, just two 97s, 88 Isky cam. Board 60 thou, relieved, poured and polished, all that good stuff.
The really cool thing about it is like the names Edelbrock and Navarro and you know, all these guys' names, and Escaderison and all that, all guys that come out of war and were, you know, did all this engineering during the war, and they've come out and designed their own heads and their own manifolds and that. And Navarro, of course, they've just been re-established again, haven't they?
Yeah, they're reissuing most of this stuff. Even the Edelbrock intake is a reissue one. There's all that old stuff out there. It's big dollars, but it's all worn out too. So, yeah, just keeping with that old 40s, like 40s salt flat kind of.
Yeah, what do you like about the traditional stuff? Just love living the era.
I do. I love all this stuff. Like just the cars look right. You know, you could take pieces from a Holden Commodore and put them on a hot rod, and it's never going to look right. It's all about stance, proportion, and the little bits you use.
Is this all steel as well?
It is all steel. It's all steel car. Taking a bit of messing with to get it all back straight again and looking like a car.
Nothing like real steel, mate.
Yep, that's it. But yeah, it's a 31 Ford Roadster and 39 Ford brakes, 39 gearbox, 39 diff,
wow.
39 Ford dash.
Oh, well, thank you very much, mate. And look, it's a great car and a great hot rod, and it's very traditional, and it's the first thing we noticed when you drove in today, mate. It's just great, and appreciate you know, keeping the tradition alive.
Good one. Thanks for that.
Stole my gal from me. You played a wang dang, jam twang and loo, and away she flew. You played 10 high notes. 10 more how to but a twang and what a thing that got a guitar picking through. Stole my gal from me. Guitar picking through. Stole my gal.
Hey, we're here with Shane. How are you, Shane?
Very good, thank you.
And Carly.
Hi.
Wow, look at this thing here. This is great. Now, tell us a little bit about it. Who owns the car for a start?
Me.
Carly, tell us about it.
1955 Buick Super, hardtop, two-door, 322 nailhead, Dynaflow trans.
Now, did you import it yourself?
Not quite. We are the first owners here. It was a New York car, but somebody else imported it.
Now, coming from New York, there's a lot of wet weather, a lot of snow, and a lot of salt on the road there. So, I mean, was it pretty rusty, Shane?
He was only in New York for about 10 years, and he didn't do many Ks, many miles. Only a couple hundred a year, so it's got a few little bits of rust here and there, but it's all right.
So who did most of the work on it? Was it painted like this as well?
Mostly. Shane's resprayed a few bits and pieces. Shane primarily has done the interior. We both rewired it.
Because we have some pretty stringent rules here in Adelaide for left-hand drive cars, so you pretty well just have to restore the car just to get it through Regency Park here, eh?
That's correct, mate.
Now, what about the wheels? Tell us about the wheels.
Pretty much as was on the car. We did buy the hubcaps online.
They look like cross plies to me.
Oh, yeah. They're Cokers, yep.
And is it a spirited drive?
Yes.
It's a handful.
I remember following you through the hills one day, and I could see the steering wheel going left and right. A bit of exercise there.
Yeah, it keeps you awake, yeah.
So we've got power steering on this thing as well?
Yeah. Power steering, power brakes, it's got everything.
Geez, not bad for 1955, all that sort of stuff. Now, what made you want to buy a Buick? Have you always liked Buicks?
I was becoming obsessed by them. I love the size and that they're unusual, so...
So size does matter with a car?
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Shane?
Yeah, the bigger the better. Yang Tank's beautiful, mate. You can't beat them. Yeah.
Do you own anything else?
Yeah, a few different...
What else have you got?
Lots.
I reckon you might have a Sandman van, is that right?
Yes, yep.
Love the Sand van, Shane. What's going on there?
Not much. 502 big block.
Sorry, 502 cubic inch big block.
Yes, correct.
Oh, that's not a standard motor.
No, it should have been a dealer option, but unfortunately it wasn't, so I made it myself.
Well, that must really go really hard. But look, we really appreciate you taking the time to have a chat to us, and this Buick must be just the pinnacle of your collection, I must admit.
Very cool. We love it.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks for joining us on My Garage Rules.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Up and down the same old streets, all covered with age. No matter how far you are, you're on every page. Oh, they guess, they lie, uncertain they long to pry when you're the talk of the town. What for was that? At every drop of the hat, you're the talk of the town. Up and down the same old streets, all covered with age. No matter how far you are, you're on oh, they guess, they lie, uncertain they long to cry when you're the talk of the town. They guess, they lie.
Well, we're here with Terry. How are you, Terry?
Yeah, good, thanks, Brenton.
I'm standing right next to a beautiful hot rod of yours, mate. This is great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, this what's the wheels on it, mate? This looks great. White walls.
Yeah, the wheels are international, which is late Ford bolt pattern on yeah,
15s or
16 inch
16?
diameter.
Yeah. And the colour is just that bright red is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, the colour's called Sting. It's just a Commodore colour from 2-pack.
Now we're talking a 32 Ford here, Roadster. Absolutely, what a great car to drive around in, and what it is like with the roof off, mate.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, Brenton, and seems to garner plenty of attention. So. Yeah.
Now we were saying before that there's a lot of traditional hot rods, and a lot of guys like the traditional stuff. This looks like this thing's just straight out of the 50s. What gave you the idea?
Yeah, look, I guess a lot of inspiration from a lot of American magazines from a few years back, and cars from the 40s even and the 50s. That's where most of the inspiration came from. And yeah, my son-in-law's into traditional style cars as well, so so from him as well. So.
Now you worked closely with him too on quite a few parts on this car. We were just talking about the Nerf bar and the shocker setup at the front here. How long did that take to build?
Yeah, I guess it was pretty solid weekend's work from what I remember. It was pretty hot weather, and yeah, we persevered. And it all started just from a drawing on the shed floor.
On the shed floor?
Yeah, and
that's old school.
Michael kind of drew it out, and yeah, then we just sort of fabricated it from there, and it's like solid 3/4 bar, so and then chrome. So yeah, a lot of effort.
Now, obviously, we've got to ask what sort of engine we're running.
Yeah, it's a 350 Chev run with a 4-speed top-loaded gearbox and a 9-inch diff. So it's fairly contemporary, really, in the running gear.
And what sort of fuel are you running?
It is gas, LP gas.
LPG,
only.
so you're thinking of the environment, which is good?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
A lot cheaper though, isn't it?
Always big. Yeah, that's right.
Now you've taken it. Now I seem to see this thing everywhere. So you've been taking a lot of interstate shows. So what's it like to drive long distance?
Yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, I guess they're a bit of an acquired taste in a car of this size, but yeah, we manage that quite well.
Well, it must be beautiful sitting on that nice tuck and roll white interior in there too. That looks great.
The interior did come up pretty well, and yeah, a friend of mine did it, and yeah, really happy.
So you built the car yourself at home?
Yeah, most of it. The chassis is all fabricated at home, and yeah, it's a Ken Brownlee Deuce Customs body, and but yeah, majority of stuff was done at home.
Well, mate, every time I seem to see you driving this, you've got a bit of a smile on your face, and I really appreciate you taking the time out to have a chat to us today.
No, that's fine, Brett.
Well, here we are with Simon and Emily. You must be Simon.
Well, mostly, yes.
And Emily, how are you?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Geez, I tell you what, Emily, you're looking the part today, mate. Well done. Look, we're here to talk about this car behind us. Now, Simon, tell us about this car.
Well, today it's its first shakedown run out. It's been 3 years in the making and was supposed to take one, but that's a pretty familiar story. Apart from a mild overheat and some smoke, I don't know where it came from. And it doesn't have Lucas Electric, so I don't know. Apart from that, it's been a real success. I'm really pleased it's here.
So it doesn't normally run this type of motor, so you're saying this is it's run, so this is a brand new motor?
Bought the car as a 6-cylinder 2-speed auto. Had owned a 4-door before with a 2-speed auto. And they're as bad as I remember, and drove it, went, yeah, that's as bad as I remember. Hoiked that, put in the 302 Windsor, the C4, Centura diff, XF discs, all the standard stuff we're allowed to do, so we'll get nice legally registered, and it's been a pretty impressive thing today. I'm really happy with it.
Now, chicks dig V8, so what's this like, Emily?
She's pretty sweet.
Now, of course, Emily's got her own car as well. You've got a beautiful Valiant too, haven't you?
Sure do. ep6 Regal.
And pinstriped?
Pinstripe.
It's got all the fluffy dice and everything on it, if I remember it.
Yeah, the monster dice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, look, this is, as I said, we've got a bit of a story behind this car. So you finally got on a shakedown run, you brought it out. Is the interior original on this as well?
Well, it's the interior that was in the car when I got it, but it's not the original interior, but the original style. So it's been retrimmed, I reckon, about the mid-80s, I'd imagine, because it was previously garaged and never driven for probably 9-10 years before I got it. So.
Well, I tell you what, mate, it's an Aussie classic, and it just looks great. I mean, it's got the 2-door, it's got the V8. I love those rocker covers there. They look great.
They're pretty, aren't they? I really like them.
I really like those. Mate, where'd you get those from?
I got onto them through a friend who put me onto an old hot rodder, who had them sitting on the shelf, had done for years, still in the box, still in the wrapper. I said, no, I just decided not to use them. So I bought those and the shifter that's in the car as well. So.
Well, mate, it looks great. And Emily, you look fantastic today again. I just got to say that for everybody. But look, you look the look, you've walked the talk, you've got beautiful cars at home, so you must be right into the whole era of things as well, like the 50s and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and more cars the merrier.
Absolutely. Well, look, guys, thank you very much for joining us today, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Good on you. Thanks, Brenton.
Thanks.
started in motorsport when I was about 12 years old. Started doing motorcarnas and smaller events. Mum and Dad used to do the rally driving themselves, so that's how it all really started. So from there, after the hill climbs, I moved to doing bigger events such as a bit of circuit racing and more so the rallies. Last year we did the whole Australian Rally Championship, which was great for us. Big experience travelling around Australia, towing the car and doing it. So, and we had some good results in that. But this year we've moved on to the V8s. To be the youngest driver is really great in the series because the media really does focus on me. There's a couple other young guns in it too. One's from South Australia too, Josh Keane. He's only 19 years old, so the media really comes to us being so young in the series. I do love the competition itself, and I love us all. Our whole team is our family, so it's all good to work together as a family. And it's just a great sport to do. The biggest career highlights would be moving from the rallying to driving something like this. The rally car, you're sliding into corners on gravel, so it's a big change to having big horsepower and lots of grip on the track. Doing the ARC last year was brilliant. It was a great experience for all of us as a team, and we had some good fifth outrights there as well. I think my favourite motorsport hero would be Scott McLaughlin. He's currently running in the V8 Supercar Series. He's only 19 years old and he's already won a race this year, so that's definitely someone I'd look up to. I hope to follow his footsteps.
We're here with Kevin and Daryl. How are you guys?
Yeah, good, Brent. Yeah, it's all good.
Well, I'll tell you what, these T-shirts, they just about say it all. And look, tell us about the Aussie Muscle Car Run.
Well, it's a car for raise funds for the Leukemia Foundation. It's a run that goes for 2,864 Ks this year. Last year we did 2,736. So we've upped it a little bit this year.
There is toilet breaks, isn't there?
Yeah, oh my word.
Thank God for that.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Oh, unless you carry a bottle with you or something like that. Oh boy.
Well, we do get a few stops on the way. We see a few cars on the side with having a little break, a little wee break, as
now,
I say.
Being Aussie muscle cars, so it's, what have we got, Holdens?
Oh, we've got vehicles that were opened up to Bathurst from 1965 through to 1977. So you've got a good variety of cars in there. Some of the early model cars that ran at Bathurst, like the GT Cortinas, the Mini Cooper S's.
Nice.
You know, so it's
what about our Mopar fans? Any Valiants in there as well?
Yeah, there's Valiants in there, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, we had two Chargers last year, so we've got a Valiant in again this year that entered. So yeah, we get a good variety of vehicles. So we actually got a Mini Cooper S as well.
I hear you're a bit of a Ford fan too.
Oh yeah, well, I like my Fords, but I like nice motor cars.
What about Daryl here? What's he into? What are you into, Daryl?
Oh, probably a little bit more on the Holden side of things, the old Monaros and Torontos, but I do love the old Fords too.
See, we've got people now cheering right now. They're going, "No, Ford, yay, Holden!" Oh, that's great. But I mean, there's no rivalry with this event, is there? Everyone bands together for a great cause.
It was just fantastic. Yeah, it was really, really great, and there's none of this going around like they do at car shows. That's not right on that. None of that. None of that. They're all just good mates.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
they just appreciate one another's company, and they appreciate the vehicles themselves, which is fantastic.
Well, we've got to just tell the viewers this is the first time they've been together. They didn't like each other before they came on the show. No, I'm only kidding. But Holden and Ford, great. I mean, obviously got the Valiants as well. Did you say Minis as well?
Yeah, Mini Cooper S. Yeah.
How many Ks again?
We're just doing short of 3,000.
In a Mini?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think that'd be equivalent to about 6,000 in a Mini, wouldn't it?
I mean, if I was in a Mini, they'd have to surgically remove me because, wow, 3,000 Ks in a Mini, that's pretty good. And obviously the Leukemia Foundation, it goes to a great course.
Definitely. It's it's good because the regions that we travel to, the village that's being built out here at Northfield, for the patients to come down to Adelaide that need treatment for leukemia, stay there at no cost to them at all. So it is an advantage to everybody in South Australia because unfortunately the disease is widespread. So these regional towns that we travel to are going to benefit by fundraising for this particular cause, are going to benefit from that.
Now, is the flying doctors involved in this as well?
No.
No, not at all?
No.
Because, I mean, getting them down there, how do they get down to
Well,
Adelaide?
usually when they come down to the specialist or whatever and they get diagnosed for their treatment, well then they say, look, we've got to step on this straight away.
Yeah,
and that's what the village is for.
Oh, that's fantastic. So now you guys are really behind this now. Is there any reason you're behind this, Daryl? Is there anything that's touched your heart? This is why you've done this?
Oh, most definitely. I think, like most people, we've all had friends or family that have passed away or have been affected by cancer. And that was one of the main reasons that we got involved. Plus our company, the Leukemia Foundation, is our charity of choice. So.
Well, I want to get a T-shirt that says, I hate cancer. I think that's the best way to, let's get rid of cancer. But look, the cars, they're going to be travelling basically all around Adelaide, is that what we're saying?
Well, we start at the Clipsal start-finish line
awesome.
on Sunday, the 27th of October.
Yep.
And we run through and we return back on the 3rd, November the 3rd, at the parade ground on King William Street.
So how's the money raised? How do you get the money?
Well, what we do is we ask each entrant to pay for their cost and we subsidise half it. So if you're coming in the event, you're looking at paying $770 per person, and then we ask each vehicle to raise a minimum of $2,500. Oh, wow. But that $770, that covers all their accommodation, their evening meal and their breakfast, the entire run. So they've only got to find funds for their
It's quite cheap,
lunch.
really.
It is. It is. You couldn't get a holiday for that.
Yeah. How did you go with your first run? How much did you raise then?
We raised $250,000 from 34 cars.
From 34 cars, 250,000. Wow. Look, I'm going to clap on that because I reckon that's pretty good. I hope you're clapping at home too.
We are really pleased with that because the original concept was that we would need about 100 vehicles to raise that amount of money, but we were a bit worried when we got to 34 and we thought, we might need to cap this to get control of it because it's better to have the first one really run nice and sweet, and that's what we wanted. And of course, to do that and actually come up with the bottom line that we first were trying to achieve of $250,000 is just blew us all away. It's just fantastic.
I think you guys have got some big hearts, and hats off to you. So just mention the dates again, just quickly.
It's the 27th of October through to the 6th of, the 3rd of November.
That's fine. You can always say sorry to me. That's no problem at all. Well, look, Kevin and Daryl, thank you very much for joining us on the show tonight, and I hope everybody gets behind it.
Yeah, well, thanks very much, Brendan, for doing that.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight on My Garage Rules. Colin, what do you think? What was the best part of the show?
The Ramble Show was awesome.
Oh, that was pretty good. What about you, Adam?
Oh, the interview with Mustard, yeah.
Oh, well, we go away, don't we? And those pole dancers, weren't they great?
What?
Did you miss out on the pole dancers? Oh, no, sorry. Well, look, folks, sorry about that, guys. We'll see you all next week. So hope to see you and tune in. Thank you. And good night.